Welcome everybody to this pre-event press conference for the Race of Champions 2022 Snow and Ice, and we will be speaking with all drivers today. This is our first group. I'll go from left to right. Benita Guerra and Helio Castroneves representing Latin America. In the middle we have Mika Häkkinen and Emma Kymäläinen, and this is a bit exciting because breaking news, Valtteri Bottas will not be joining us this weekend, unfortunately because of other commitments, but we do have Emma Kymäläinen with us, so welcome to you, Emma. And representing Sweden, we have Mattias Ekström and Timmy Hansen. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will start in the middle, shall we, with Team Finland and Mika Häkkinen. It's your first time at the Race of Champions, and I've seen you several times around the hotel with a big smile on your face. What's it been like so far here in Sweden?
Yeah, maybe the big smile is because I'm inside in a hotel. You know, if I would be outside, I think the smile would be far away. Yeah? But hey, it's great atmosphere. First of all, it's fantastic to see the great racing drivers and who has achieved mega results in their career, and of course. It's good to see the great organization, everybody who is working here doing a great job. I mean, considering whatever it is, the hotel, the food, the service, I mean, everything's just in top class. So it's great to be here because to be in this kind of environment and location, you know, there's more challenges than normal cases. So it's really great. And of course, first group, you know, the best drivers are here, and of course Finland. It's going to be a great challenges, so it's going to be fun.
I've seen that you have been entered into the Arctic Rally of Finland sometimes, so you actually have a bit of experience. Do you find that that's an advantage, perhaps?
Yeah, I have experience. I think I did 3 times. Yeah, I did 3 times Arctic Rally, and it was incredible experience, but yes, I went the very first time and I did some practice, and when I did start racing against these professional drivers, I was a million miles away. I didn't have no chance, I tell you, and maybe because I'm a very bad listener, so I didn't listen to co-driver, you know, and well, that's not exactly true, but I mean it's a rally racing is a different than single car driving racing. You know, you really have to have this kind of experience to listen to your co-pilot and telling you which way the braking points and the corners are going and what speed you have to carry through the corners. So it was a big challenge, but yes, it definitely has a little help, and then born in Finland, you know, the conditions are more or less like this, so it does help. So again, keep looking at us, you know. I think we have a pretty good chance to win, huh?
And just lastly, Mika, how do you feel having Emma by your side as a teammate this weekend?
Brilliant, and I think it's really great, and yes, Valtteri had commitments and the last minute cancellation. So I'm happy to have Emma and of course following her development in W Series and in her career. It's great to see his great result. Oh, it's over now.
Time to get up.
It's enough.
Your wake-up call, you know.
Are you on Brazilian time, Helio?
That's right. That's right.
But certainly it's going to be brilliant, and I tell you what, Emma certainly going to tell more about her experiences of racing. But we had a really good chat yesterday after her driving, and he was telling about his experience of technique of driving different cars, and so we have a good team.
I've got to shoot that question straight to you, Emma. How does it feel being on a team with Mika Häkkinen?
It's an honor, to be honest, and honor to be here. Thanks for inviting me. And yeah, it's my childhood hero. You know, just talking with his kids who are actually turning 8 today. Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
And remembering when I was their age, watching every Sunday when there was F1, watching the racing, and I could always remember because at that time it wasn't that common to overtake from the outside, and then Mika did that,
So now I
couple
really
of times.
feel
I
old.
was like, oh my god, it was so great. So watching him racing and winning the titles and stuff. So it's an honor to be here. Thanks.
Now I feel really young, yes. 8 years old.
And older too.
But Emma, also Race of Champions, being a driver, how high up the list is that to be able to be here competing?
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm honored to be here. It's amazing to be among these brilliant drivers who've achieved so much in their careers, and to be considered as one of this group is a dream come true. And we're gonna put a good show with Mika.
I'm sure you will. Best of luck, Team Finland.
Thank you.
Let's head to Latin America then, and all the way to your left there, Benito Guerra, the reigning ROC champion from 2019 in Mexico City. Welcome back, Benito. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much, Molly. Nice to see you back. And yeah, we are really, really happy to be here. I'm going to compete with Elio, that I also admire him for so many years, and now we are becoming friends, and we are going to represent the whole Latin America community. So it's really nice to be here. It's not the kind of weather we have in Brazil or in Mexico, but I think we could manage.
And how are you finding your bearings with these kind of conditions? Because at the moment, if we look outside, it is a proper snowstorm.
We can't find it right now. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. I tell you what, it's been great to be back again with Race of Champions. And as Benito said it, I'm so glad he's in my team right now. I told him, you're on your own here, buddy. I'm just going to be cheering for you, and hopefully I can follow up your steps. But no question, it's been absolutely incredible to get among such incredible talents, and echo what Mika was talking about, the incredible organization. And as well, he was my childhood hero as well, and being here and racing against them, it's just an honor.
Compared to these other guys, I'm sure you've had to maybe invest in some snow clothing.
Yeah, it's difficult to find in Mexico these kind of clothes, and also
Oh, yes, look at them.
those are not FIA. But yeah, it's a different kind of way to do racing. It's our first time in snow for both of us, and even though I'm a rally driver, I think it will help the rally techniques we use to drive the cars in the snow could be very similar, but for sure it's a new challenge. And thank you very much for this opportunity, Frederick Johnson and all the ROC team. We are very happy, and we will do our best to try to win the Nations Cup.
A few comments about that, because if we look over at the board there, round 1A, it says Latin America against Team USA. You're up against Jimmy Johnson and Colton Herta.
Yeah, they're here.
They're very entertaining right now. They're watching their phones, and I don't know. I think it's huge talents, no question about it, with Jimmy and Colton. The good news is I got the rally driver, so that helps a lot. So I'm going to try to do my best to make sure that I can get that extra point.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys, and best of luck to
Thanks,
you.
Molly.
Thank you, Molly.
Moving to Team Sweden and to two big rivals from Rallycross, Mattias Ekström and Timmy Hansen. Timmy, you won the virtual ROC last year, and this is your first appearance in real life at ROC. How's it been so far?
It's really cool to be here. I was a bit disappointed after winning the World Championship in Rallycross in 19 that COVID happened, and then we did everything virtual. Then I was in the final against Benito, but I got it there. But in the end now I'm in the real thing, and it's just cool to be invited to this race. I've always watched this race, and just to have it in Sweden, a Swedish race of champions on snow and ice, it will be really cool. And then in the Nations Cup I'm with Mattias, so we're not used to be teammates. But everybody speak about Mika as a legend, but Matthias is closing in on the age also, I think, to be a legend. But we're gonna have fun. You know, it's a great atmosphere here, and yeah, just making sure to enjoy this event and trying to do well on track. You know, driving on ice is quite natural for me, but the draw is looking tough. So I have to be on it. You know.
Matthias, this will be your 8th participation, I believe, in the Race of Champions. You speak so often very highly about your achievements there. What's it like to have the event now in Sweden and be representing Sweden here?
Yeah, I mean, it's very special for me. Race of Champions have meant a lot to me as a person, especially in some countries. I would say maybe Germany the most, as I had some really great battles with Michael. And always happy to hear Fredrik's FaceTime's call popping in, and you know that there might be some ideas or opportunities. So, no, I can just echo what the other guys say. It's nice to be here. No, one for sure for the racing, but also to meet the motorsport community, and the best of the best are always here. And it's a lot of fun when we are not racing, and when we are racing, we do our best. So when I saw that Race of Champions would come to Sweden, I actually called Fredrik and said, you know, I had a little bit off trying to recover a couple of years, but I think to make a comeback now when it's in Sweden, that would be something special for me as well.
And your social media for the last, it almost feels like a couple of weeks, is all about practicing. I mean, you have been preparing very well for this event.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few guys that believe that the more you train, the better you get. So I also feel I haven't done as much of snow and ice driving as I wish lately. And I feel it's like fresh milk. If you stop doing it, I feel I need to get in certain flow, and the more I train, the better I get, and also reduce a bit the stress, because when you jump between cars, the couple of first corners are always difficult to adapt. So just to be bang on the money, switching cars fast is what I think is the recipe to win here. And I like winning here. I tried several times and managed 3, so enjoy that.
Between the two of you, we have seen many fiery moments, especially in the World Rallycross Championship. And now you are teammates. Timmy touched slightly on it, but what's it like to be teaming up with Timmy for Team Sweden? Yeah,
I'm wondering. I haven't really found out yet. No, we had for sure a couple of hard moments. He wanted to punch me once. That was the most exciting one. I was just waiting, and I said, you're probably a bit bad-mooded, but he's not bad-mooded, probably because he has his family here. So that's the good thing here. Maybe the tempers don't run as high. You take it more with a blink in the eye. But yeah, we are Swedish. That's for sure what we have in common. We will race our best for our country, and yeah, we have no holidays plans, that's for sure. So, but we will definitely do our best and share experience to make sure there's a good chance for a home victory for Sweden.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Best of luck to all of you.
Thank you.
We before you go, sorry, I want to open up to the floor. Yeah. Okay. Anyone? Any questions? Okay, we have a question over here. Do we have a microphone? No.
You got a big voice, just go for it.
Okay. Christopher Lindén, Vasabladet. Question for Emma. What's your experience on snow and ice?
Well, obviously, coming from Finland, we are used to driving on slippery surfaces, also in traffic. But yeah, I've done some driver experience stuff, driver coaching on ice and stuff, but not real racing. I've done one rallycross race, 2017, so that's pretty much my experience on gravel or slippery surfaces in a race car. But yeah, usually driving on wet, no matter if it's been a single-seater or whatever car, it's been one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, so that's why I'm enjoying this a lot and giving this opportunity to be here to really fully send it with those amazing cars that we have here, and yeah, it's a dream come true. Yeah, would love to do some rallying or something like that in the future. So this is a good start. Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone else? I can't see everyone, but.
Yeah, question. Yeah, I can ask everybody. There's an electric car down there. how many of you have driven electric cars?
For me, it was the first time. So, and I love it.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, to be honest. The electric rallycross car was really, really cool. It was really precise, fast. I think the fastest car probably here. Really good to drive, a lot of fun. And yeah, I have some experience with a Tesla as a racing car, so that wasn't the first time. But to be honest, to be driving fully that many laps with those cars really surprised me positively that it was possible. And yeah, it's going to be amazing to race with that car.
I also think that electrical cars, as I've been doing it for a couple of years now, the fans don't like that the sound is not as it used to be. But my experience is, as a driver, nearly every car that I drove with an electrical drivetrain is more of a driver's favorite. Yeah. And I think that here was very obvious yesterday when you jump from car just within a couple of minutes, that you feel that the electrical drivetrain makes a huge difference. It's easy to drive, you have the instant torque and the power, and it just makes lives more easy as a driver, and you feel you get the best out of yourself versus having an issue with some shifting or having the right gear and all this. So I'm starting to become a big fan to drive them, but I do understand that the fans are complaining on the sound. But like I say, the future, what is ahead of us, will be a lot of electric, and I think you also have to give credit to the team for OMSE, because still you have to develop a car to drive like this, and I think everybody had a smile on their face yesterday, and I think that was a clear favorite.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. I felt the same way, actually. The only thing for me was getting used to because never drove in snow, or understanding a little bit, and you downshift. With the electric, you don't downshift, right? But what you're getting used to was, I was impressed with the power. Wow, that was impressive. So, a lot of fun.
Okay, that's it. You're free to go and enjoy practice in that weather.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too, thank you.
Kiitos Emma.
Jimmy, Colton. Yeah. Are the other ones there?
Mennäs majaan nyt? Milloin se pitää virallisesti lähteä ajamaan? Tiedätkö?
Yes, are you bringing them in? Yes, Nice hoodies.
Thank you. Yeah. With Team Germany supporting Race of Champions.
Okay, we're ready to go with our second group, and I'll go left to right again. Representing Team France, we have Didier Auriol and Sebastian Loeb. Representing Team Germany, we have Sebastian Vettel and Mick Schumacher. And representing Team USA, we have Jimmy Johnson and Colton Herter. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll start all the way to the left then. Didier Auriol, you have the record for the most Champion of Champion wins, and now you are back at the Race of Champions. How does that feel?
No, I am very happy to be here, to see a new rally driver, because for me it's already nearly 30 years I have stopped to race, and the race of the champion in 99 or something like that, it was a completely different story. It was only a rally driver, and it was really a rally car, so it was very comfortable for me to drive this car. Now it's different, but it's nice to meet some different people coming from in different country and different race car, and so I am very happy to be here and very happy to be with Sebastian.
A fresh Monte Carlo winner as well. Didier, how do you feel about the surface and the cars that you've been out driving there?
Oh, it was not so easy for me yesterday when I drive, but okay. I mean, I try my best. You know, I am this old generation. We never use the left braking, and so it's very complicated for me. So I try a different way. Means with a rallycross car, I was quite okay. The another complaint, because we have need to use the clutch and everything. I was very happy by that. And for me, the electric car, it was try to understand how I can drive the fastest as possible this car, and I take the decision to try to use a little bit the handbrake everywhere. So it's not left braking, it's just hand braking, right.
Seb Loeb, you're fresh from a Monte Carlo win, and you have to be the busiest racing driver out there with Dakar and then Monte, and you were at the Trophy Andros the other weekend. It's an incredible schedule you have these days.
Yes, for sure. The beginning of the season is quite intense for me. Then it will be a bit more easy after these races, but yes, I still enjoy driving, so I had some good opportunities to. For sure, Dakar is one of my main targets. I didn't win it, but we finished second. It was not a bad race, but no victory. Monte Carlo, it's always difficult for me when I have the proposition to drive a WRC to say no, because I still have a lot of fun in these cars, and Monte Carlo was just amazing for me. New car, new co-driver, and new team, and victory. So that was just incredible. Yes, so I'm quite warm of driving, warmer than the weather today. So we will see.
This is your 9th time at the Race of Champions. What is it about this event that you like so much?
What I like, I have some very good memories. What I enjoy is to meet some other guys from other disciplines, and we never have the opportunity to meet the Formula One drivers and things like this. And here we are all there in a nice atmosphere, and just enjoy the moment. I also enjoy the race, for sure. We have to adapt in all the cars, in some complicated situation here with the road condition. I think it will not be an easy one. So, and I have some good memories from this race, from Stade de France, a great atmosphere. So yeah, I'm happy to be back.
And how do you feel about your teammate?
I feel happy to be with Didier. He was the first guy who helped me when I was trying for the first time of my life a WRC. He went to my first test session and explained me a bit how it works. So now I will try to help him.
You teach me now.
Brilliant. Best of luck, guys, this weekend.
Thank you.
Moving to the middle, to Team Germany, and I'll head to you straight first, Seb. I have to say, what are you made of? Because I saw something on social media where you were running around outside in this weather in a T-shirt and shorts, and you had a lot of ice in your beard as well. What were you doing?
We went for a run this morning, and yeah, I didn't bring a lot to wear. Maybe that's the excuse. I quite like the cold anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I think we all have something. We are a bit. We miss some brain cells. Maybe it's that for me, getting dressed up properly. So yeah, it was good, and this morning was quite cold as well. But it was nice to come back.
How long was the run?
I was just under an hour, so it was fine.
Oh, yeah, nothing at all in this weather. That's not a problem. So, Race of Champions on snow and ice. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. I'm very a big fan of this part of the world and the north and its conditions, also in the winter. Not yet completely convinced of driving on ice because I still struggle to, judge exactly what I need to do. But it's a lot of fun. So I think it will be a fun competition. As Seb said, it's nice to be part of this event and to meet the other drivers. But in particular, it's fun this time to be out on ice. It's a different skill, different driving required. As usual, very limited time to swap between the cars and get used to everything. But that's the challenge. So we see how we get on, and we obviously try to do well together as Team Germany to fight off all the Scandinavian teams.
Yeah, how hungry are you guys to get that Nations Cup title back?
Well, I mean, obviously, last time we were out, we finished second, so we were in the final and got quite close. Generally, the Nations Cup has been quite good to Team Germany. With Michael, we won a couple of times.
Couple of times, 6 times.
Yeah. So with Mick, obviously, I need to stretch, and we try to keep that rhythm up. I think progressing as much as you can is always fun because you get more driving. So that's the target.
Mick, it's your second appearance at the Race of Champions. Quite the contrast to Mexico City in 2019. How have the first couple of days been here?
Yeah, it's been good. I think that we had a lot of fun. We got to go out on the ice, on the big ice as well. Had some experiences there, and I think the racetrack is fun. It's a bit more slippery, so I think we managed to get around and maybe hit a few walls here and there, but I think it was okay. So
they're soft.
Yeah, they're soft for now.
What sort of experience do you have on this surface?
I would say the first time I was on ice was 2014, but I mean then also I think probably 2 or 3 times in between that. So marginal, but I've always enjoyed it, and so I think that it's going to be a fun weekend here, hopefully a successful one too.
Out of the cars, what's your favourite one?
I think that the electric rallycross is really fun, but then the Polaris I think has just the upper hand right now.
Thank you very much, guys. Best of luck. Moving to Team USA, to both of you fresh from the 24 hours at Daytona, I believe. And Colton, you won the LMP2 class, so congratulations with that. Start with you, Colton. Just the contrast to coming from that race to here. When we look out the window, that must be huge.
Right. Yeah, no, it is. And, I've been enjoying it, but it's something that's very new to me. I've never driven on ice or dirt and stuff like this. But I'm enjoying it. We got to drive with Matthias a little bit with his Can-Ams, I think it was Wednesday or...
Cheating.
Yeah. And that was really cool to kind of get a first taste. And, for that little hour or 2 that we did was the most fun that I've had in a car in a really long time. I think just because it's so different, every technique that you learn in single-seaters, it's virtually the opposite here. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And Jimmy's been here several times before. What sort of advice or what's he been telling you about what the Race of Champions is like?
Maybe some stuff I probably shouldn't say here, but yeah, I think for both of us, we just don't really know what to expect. Obviously, he's got a little bit of dirt experience, but not for a long time. But this is still really different. But yeah, like I said, just excited and happy to be here and get going.
And Jimmy, same question to you that I asked to Seb. What is it about the Race of Champions that keeps bringing you back?
It would be the almost, it's not a race, but there's 2 sides to ROC. There's what the cameras see on the track, and then there's what goes on after the cameras turn off. And I think for me, it's much like Seb said and others have said, the camaraderie in this group and the opportunity to be around other racers and drivers from disciplines that we don't have a chance to meet. So it's been very special to me. My first ROC was in 2002, I believe it was, in the Canary Islands. And I knew it was special, but doing it in person and to have the experience with the others just meant the world to me. And I've been back, I'm not sure how many times now, but I'm coming back more for the camaraderie and the experience off track. Driving's fun, but the camaraderie is really where it's at.
And what do champion drivers talk about when the cameras are off? Or can I not ask that question?
It depends. I mean, last night, Coulthard was bringing up topics in conversations that I didn't think were possible to have at a dinner table. So it depends on who's carrying the conversation.
But this morning you went running. I mean, Seb went by himself yesterday, and this morning he dragged along, I don't know how many of you?
Yeah, I think 6 of us went this morning, so. I thought he was messing with me last night.
Let's see how many we are tomorrow morning.
It's going to be less and less each night.
Maybe it peaked already.
Yeah.
What do you believe your chances are this
we
weekend?
only talked about racing.
That's right.
Yeah, only racing and weather.
And weather.
I'm German. You always talk about weather when you're German. Yeah, you say, how are you? And then, how's the weather? I don't know. It's just,
That's Swedish.
you grow up with that. Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy, what do you believe your chances are this weekend against many Scandinavians?
Well, I mean, it's obvious we're the favorites, so we're just going to try to hold up that end of the bargain. 2 California guys that have never driven on the snow or ice before, so
What could go wrong?
what could go wrong?
Perfect. Thank you very much and best of luck, all of you. I'm going to open up to the floor. Anyone got questions? Yep.
Yes, for Sebastian and Mick, please. Everyone's already spoken so much about what makes Race of Champions special, and you know that you've experienced it firsthand. But the fact that it is now snow and ice this weekend is such a big departure, and where you guys are going to be in 2 or 3 weeks' time with pre-season testing, it couldn't be any more different. How much more appealing did it make it to come to this event?
Well, it's always appealing. It's always, I think, an honor to, get the invite and have the chance to participate for first the race, but then, meeting the other drivers. And I think driving on ice, I've done very little so far, but it's obviously very different to what what we normally do, is trying to keep things as clean as possible. And Formula One car or single-seater car is not made for sliding. Whereas here you need to find the balance of the opposite. You need to slide, but you don't want to slide too much. You got a 4-wheel drive in most of the cars, so I think it's no problem, I feel, to get in the car and get along, but then it is a problem to get in the car and go really, really quick, to master the technique, to just get that flow and get that rhythm. Obviously, with more time, probably it would help, but some guys are doing it for years, and some guys are just naturally a bit more strong than others. But I think that's the name of the game. You need to adapt very quickly and find your rhythm, and you obviously try to sneak a little bit what the other guys are doing, trying to copy a little bit, and pick out the good stuff, leave the bad stuff, and try to not to lean too much on the snowbanks, I guess. Yeah.
There are no more questions. I'd just like us to do a message to Travis Pastrana, who is in his bed with a broken pelvis and everything. I don't know what you want to say, but
Hey Travis, Team USA here. Wishing you a really quick recovery, and thanks for letting me fill in for your spot.
So, buddy, hope you're feeling well. Hope you're back home finally, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Take it easy, Travis. Take recovery serious. I know that you want to get back as quick as you can, but we miss you and hope to see you again soon.
Go jump more.
Travis Pastrana.
Good luck, Travis. I wanted to fight with you, but you are not here, so I will come back next year and we'll have a good fight.
Super. Great stuff, guys.
Thank you.
Hang on one second. We have just a couple of more questions. This is from media? Oh, fans. Seb Vettel, what is your favourite ROC memory so far?
Well, I won the individual one in 2015, so that was really nice. Especially, it was very surprising because the night before I don't know, that year I thought I gave up on the individual in terms of going to sleep early and have a proper preparation. So I got drunk completely. And I'm not sure how much I remember of the night, but the next morning I felt okay. And I got in the car and it just got better throughout the competition, I guess. It was a relaxing way to start the competition. So that's a highlight, but then I think generally the moments I shared, in the finals now with Mick in Mexico is the freshest memory, but then years ago with Michael, probably the first one we won together was great. I think it was in Düsseldorf.
No, Wembley 2007. You started in Formula One.
And then we had the home advantage, I think 2 years after.
2010, 2011.
Exactly, in Düsseldorf. So yeah, I think because again it came so unexpected. Like we just got into the competition and yeah, we were joking with each other, with the others. Yeah, we're gonna get kicked out, and then another round. So yeah, I had the privilege to take part in quite a few so far. So good memories. On and off track, especially the off track.
Great stuff, guys. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Have fun.
One photo, Travis wanted to have a photo that he could post with the two of you.
Yeah.
Kanske dags att byta batteri nu. Just kind of batteries, I think.
Both options. Jesse would know, but we said like because you're here now and we delayed practice, I think you have both options. The only thing is that Jesse knows where you are, or with Hero and with Jack know where you are. That you don't interfere in the room and Are you done? Okay. It doesn't apply to you. So go have a rock beer and
They're in the last group.
Army, let's do a photo. If you can do it here, if you're going up against the draw.
So we need to qualify to get to quarterfinals.
The draw. So if you go here and then
Get more driving, hopefully.
if you get knocked out, then all German is going to be. Actually, you know what we're going to do, Molly? We're going to give the trophies to the E-ROC winner. So, Lucas and Gasses, second, and Jarno, the winner. The E-ROC. Yeah, Lucas. One last photo. Super, thank you very much. Fantastic. So you can put. Are you in? No, you're in the next group. Sorry, yes, you're in the next group.
You don't have a seat, David?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm already through.
No, not that here. So oh, that's actually, now it works out really great. So you against Vika and you against Emma.
But is that where it will be?
No, so you're both. So we changed the both. You're driving against both.
Okay.
Because we
være med på dette.
direct thing.
Så gjør vi det sammen. Det begge to kan være med.
So we're ready with our next group. I'll go from left to right. Representing Team Norway, we have Petter and Oliver Solberg. In the middle, we have representing Team Nordic, Johan Kristoffersen and Tom Christensen. And to the right, we have representing Team GB, Jamie Chadwick and David Coulthard. Welcome, everyone. We'll start on the left with the Solbergs. Petter, this is your 6th time at the Race of Champions, I believe?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I have actually written it down. Yes, this will be your 6th time. And now, on a surface, I'm sure you're quite happy with.
Well, for sure, it's a service we know a little bit better than maybe many of the other guys. But the Race of Champions is always some surprises coming in, you know, that some people have said, no, I have never driven on snow before, but I have been for a week up in Finland practicing and stuff, you know. But anyway, we are very lucky that we can do this together with Oliver, first of all, but with all the other drivers all around the world. I mean, the enjoyment we have talking to each other about different type of sports, it's really great.
And how does Dad prepare son for his first Race of Champions experience?
Well, I have nothing to say anymore, you know. But the only thing I told him, never. What is the word again? You know, in the Race of Champions, there's a lot of smart guys, you know, with a lot of
bullshitting basically, you know. So I told him to don't listen to anybody at all and just enjoy the moment of being 20 years and being in the Race of Champions here in Sweden. It's great.
And have there been any examples of, I'm not going to use the word you just used, but of other people saying things that aren't true?
All the time. You know, this is the part of Race of Champions, you know, and you know, all the drivers here have done a lot of success, and so it's a part of the game, but that's what this makes this Race of Champions so special.
And Oliver, your first time at the Race of Champions, what's it been like so far?
I've heard many stories from my dad from before, and it's exactly what I expected. A lot of bullshit, as he said. No, but it's fantastic. You know, many idols that I look up till in many different sports. You know, NASCAR with Jimmy Johnson and Coulthard and Tom, and you know, it's so many people I look up to, and everyone is super friendly, very humble, and yeah, just a nice group of people.
So tell me, last night at the dinner table, who were you just having a regular chat with?
Me and David had a nice chat last night. We're not going to say what it was about, but...
We heard about those topics, David, by the way, that you brought up some interesting things.
All part of the education, you know, you're passing the experience of life of being a racing driver on to the next generation.
Sharing experience.
Yeah, exactly. Sharing is caring.
No. Oliver, how do you feel about the cars? Are they suited to you?
I haven't tried them all yet, so we'll see. We'll see. But I like the surface. Today was very tricky conditions, but I like it even more when it's more challenging. So that is good. The Porsche is quite difficult to drive, but it's good fun. It's a challenge, so that makes it even more fun. So all of them are great cars.
And does Team Norway have any dirty tricks up their sleeves?
Many.
Well, the main thing is to beat the Swedes, you know. So that's the first thing, and also the first heat I'm coming in with the Loeb. Also, it's quite interesting. So it's a good friend, but we will do what we can, and we can't do more than that.
Thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. Moving to the middle to Team Nordic and the reigning Nations Cup winners from 2019. How are you feeling about this surface? I'll head to you first, Johan.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, it's a surface that I've driven on quite a lot. So, but like always in Race of Champions, you know, it's very talented people here, and they pick up all the tips and tricks very quickly. So happy to have Tom on the side of me, because I think he's one of them picking up some tips and tricks as well, and will adapt extremely quickly and probably be the fastest of all of us here in the end of the weekend. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You're talking about humble, Oliver. You see.
Tom, this is a record 16th appearance at the Race of Champions. What keeps bringing you back?
No, but it really is that many. I'm told, but when I'm listening to Oliver and he's talking about all the great racers, actually I'm not looking up to all these idols. I'm looking down at all these idols following it and still living the sport. I'm following and seeing all these great talents are coming in, and obviously putting us under heavy pressure. We are very proud, and even before I won the Nations Cup with Petter a few years ago in that was Barbados, and look the temperature difference where we are now. Now we are on snow and ice, and I really look forward to experience that. And I've never competed on snow and ice, but sometimes done this driving experience, which we always think it's fun sideways, but now it's down to the stopwatch, and I'm certainly learning from Johan in that sense. He's sort of the king of low-speed grip, so it's nice to get a little bit of feedback, and hopefully I also can deliver something.
That's a pretty cool title, Johan. King of the low-speed grip. I like that.
Yeah, I can take that.
But he's most of the time in the air, so...
How do you two function as a team? Do you sit together until the early hours of the morning discussing all of your strategies, or...?
We actually, with Team Solberg, including Pernille, we had some beers last night, but of course it's the Swedish beers with zero alcohol, obviously. But Johan that's the smile you see. He takes it all in. He don't communicate a lot, but when he does, we're really listening.
Very good. Best of luck this weekend. Moving to Team GB and Jamie Chadwick, this is your first Race of Champions. How have the first couple of days been?
Yeah, cool. I mean, yeah, definitely a brand new experience for me. Obviously, Race of Champions, but also being out here in the snow and the ice. But yeah, soaking it all in. I think it's a bit of a pinch yourself moment for someone like myself to be amongst so many greats. So yeah, just enjoying the experience. Hopefully we can deliver in some way this weekend. But yeah, just soaking it all up.
And what sort of sensible things has DC been teaching you about Race of Champions?
Sensible. Okay. There's definitely actually a lot, to be honest. He's obviously won it on numerous occasions, and that does help. I think our strategy of, take what comes to us, not kind of set our expectations too high, especially given, the relative low experience that we have on these kind of, terrains is probably the best advice. But it's great to share that wisdom. Not all of the wisdom will I share, but it's great to have that and learn from him where I can.
I'm sure DC is one of them, but what's it like for you, or do you have many idols amongst the drivers this year?
Oh yeah, massively. I think each and every one of them, especially given the range of different disciplines that everyone comes from, it's really cool to be able to, experience that and share sort of different words and conversations with all of them. So yeah, like I said, pinch yourself moment at times, and just something I'm soaking up.
DC, it's your 13th time Race of Champions. I'm going to ask you the same I asked Tom. What keeps bringing you back?
Well, it's the camaraderie. It's it's always for me about the dressing room. Being able to hang out and share experience, not in a weird way, watching people change. I mean, just everyone here who's had teammates will know that you never share that much time with your teammate when you're competing in your professional career. So to come to Race of Champions and to have that feeling of sharing, this is how this car feels, or there is a lot of that, and that's the thing that I really appreciate. And it's, the actual driving's an inconvenience to the weekend, actually. It's everything else, which is really the bit that I enjoy.
What sort of banter has there been so far? Because we're obviously in the middle of a snowstorm. I'm sure you've got some psychological games going on in the car changes. What's been happening out there so far?
Well, my strategy has always been just say what I think, and then people may think that I'm saying that to, I don't know, mess around with them, but actually it's just what comes into my mind at that time. And that strategy sometimes can shock people, and sometimes it can amuse people, and anger and disappoint, whatever it does, but that's me. And I just, I'm really appreciative of the journey of life that I've been on, and appreciate very much what Frederick and the team put together here for us to come and have fun. So I'm looking forward to getting out on track and trying to keep it out of the bankings.
And how do you feel about having Jamie as your teammate?
Well, it's great because I have an involvement with W Series, and Jamie's our two-time champion. It's great to have supported her career and put her in front of the world's media, being on the undercard of Formula One. So it's absolutely great for me to be able to have, a current competitive racing driver as my teammate. And I'm sorry for her that you've got a 50-year-old racer who's probably faster in the bar than he is on the track.
We had this question from a fan with the previous group, and I want to ask you, DC, what is your best ROC memory?
It's like I have said, it's about sharing the experience. And for those who can remember Colin McRae, being teammates with him at Race of Champions, I remember in Paris, we set a target of not only trying to win on track, but to be last to leave the bar and to break our competitors, and I think we pretty much managed to do that. So it's those moments of sharing with that's the great thing, the journey of life, to share it with different nationalities and to do it in a way where you really sharing stories and sharing experiences. It's educational and it's fun, and I really appreciate it.
Have you been the latest up so far this week?
I haven't gone to bed since I arrived. And I'm not sleeping until Monday, so let's go for it.
I have a question from the fans to Jamie here. Do you think the Extreme E experience will help you at all?
Definitely will help me. I don't know if it'll help me enough, but definitely I think if I hadn't done Extreme E or had that experience off-road, then I'll be in a much worse position. But I think it's great because all these experiences, even having the opportunity to drive and race on ice here, really add to everything that I can take forwards with me in my career. So it's always this valuable learning experience, and it's great to experience something so new this weekend.
Another question from the fans, and I'm going to leave this open for any of you to answer. If you could pick a teammate from a different team, who would it be and why?
Start with Petter.
I'm actually I'm missing Tom in general. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Because
me too.
Yeah, but obviously.
But you have Oliver now.
Yeah, but it should actually be a Danish team because you want to have a Danish family side,
My
So
grandfather was Danish.
yeah, so it should be a Danish team. But anyway. DC, I don't know, it could have been good fun. But yeah. I honestly, I'm happy with, very happy with Oliver.
Thank you.
Yeah. I will not change now, it makes it wrong,
A little.
Yeah.
And you, Oliver?
Well, for sure, my dad is cool, but Didier Auriol would be, I think, the coolest, just because he's a rally legend, That's it.
Johan?
I'm happy with Tom, to be honest. He's on a mission. So he has the most experience of everyone. He's been here 13 times.
15, 16.
This is my 16th time.
16th. Oh wow. You was 13.
Yeah. But maybe to touch on the first one, what you gave DC, I think the very first one I was partnered with Stig Blomqvist in Race of Champions in Gran Canaria, where you were running, and that's for sure something which immediately I fell in love with the Race of Champions, and I think that has been part of why I'm always very happy and fast to say yes when we are invited to from Frederick to Race of Champions. But I mean, with Stig was for sure something also giving me very good influence and tips and being quiet, and you could always find him, which was very good. So he was always ready, and I remember we drove a Mach 1 Escort, which is the love of my life in a way, because my dad raced that one when I grew up. And in a white Mach 1 Escort, I remember they came from Great Britain, and driving that around in Gran Canaria. I think that moment, if we touch on that, that's probably where I was ignited very much to this concept.
You know that Stig is coming back this week. He's here this weekend with the Audi S1 Group B car for demonstration.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe you can get a co-drive.
Would be lovely.
How about you, Jamie?
Equally very happy with DC. But if I weren't to have DC, I'd say maybe Sebastian Loeb, just because I did go out earlier and I was watching a little bit, and obviously he missed yesterday, and he was driving the Porsche, and I was like, bloody hell, that's something I would love to be able to do. Not sure I could, but yeah, very impressive.
I'm sure you saw Monte Carlo Rally this year.
Yeah, exactly, that as well.
DC?
Probably Matthias Ekström, because he's such a funny, entertaining guy. It's good to do the ab workout when you've got someone like that.
David, how do you feel about Great Britain, Finland, and you're going to compete against Mika Häkkinen again?
Yeah, I know. I had 9 years of Finnish teammates between Mika for 7 and 2 with what was the other guy called? He never said a lot. Kimi. So I've been used to battling with the Finns over the years. So I think it's going to be fun. I think we should be, we've got to give it a crack. Mika's eyesight's going, so just hide his glasses. See how we go. Emma's pretty motivated. You've beaten her on racetrack, so maybe she's got a nice advantage.
Go with that.
But I'm feeling good.
Very good.
Brilliant. I'm going to open up any questions to the floor here. Anyone? I can't see everyone. No? No? You're free to go. Thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend.
Let's make a picture together in the middle.
Just for everyone watching, okay, my mic's off.
Happy? I'm happy.
Smil for helvede. Good. Okay.
Yeah, I will. Igjen. Kom deg inn I gruppa.
Nei, stå og si deg, Johan, du.
The kids in the middle. Det blir så mange feite på rekken.
Du får mamma til å le, for da slutter du aldri.
Yeah. We all look at the telephone, not think about DC comments yesterday.
Me and Tom are getting very old, and you guys have to take us in a wheelchair into the car.
Lite mer, och så lite så här. Du har jättebra.
Ja, men jag har skrivit också. Superbra. Superbra. Det är Tom och Peter och Johan.
Så hvor mange har du her da?
For en gjeng. For en gjeng. Pernilla. Hej. Jag ser dig. Ja, tänkte om jag har en fråga eller ska jag? Ja, gärna. Vad mysigt.
Har du varit med på någon gång? Det Peter dör, ja.
Hej, är du här då? Vi må ta ja, gärna. Det var så mycket tid. Ja, eller det är koselig. Det som är så kul med det här, det är så mycket sån cool tid emellan. Ja, det är jättekul. Väldigt sån chill stämning. Det är det. Ja, men det gör jag. Ja, se sen.
Men ni tar de två sidorna där. Om du sätter upp på andra och Lukas sätter det längst ut. Okej, Jonas. Ja. Ingmar här. Irma där. Och Anja där. Perfekt. Perfekt. Lysande. Ja. Jävla proft.
Okay, we have our final group with us for today's press conference, and here we have 4 drivers in the celebrity race, and we do have our fresh both winner and runner-up from the E-ROC final that was earlier on today. I will start from left to right, and I'll begin with Axel Lund-Svindal. Welcome to the Race of Champions. This is your first experience here. How has everything been so far?
I think it's been awesome. We're used to the winter conditions, but definitely not as used to being inside of a race car. So we had a chat about it, a little claustrophobic almost, like getting strapped into a seat like that yesterday. But today I already felt a lot better, and I think everyone is here for the fun, but I can imagine the drivers that get pretty serious tomorrow when it's competition day. I think we'll be fairly relaxed and enjoy everything. But super impressed by coming down there yesterday, seeing how the cars are lined up, and the logistical operation here to get everything done, different cars, drivers in and out. Super impressed by the organization. So it was a little bit of a coming in there as a tourist and being thrown into a car was a tough start, but figured it out quickly, and yeah, super impressed by the whole setup.
Now, the gentleman sitting next to you, Ingemar Stenmark, how many World Cup wins do you have between the two of you?
Let's talk about his World Cup win. Because, like at most tables, you sit like this, and people are like, "Oh, so you have that many World Cup wins? That's pretty cool." But then when you sit next to Ingmar, it's like, "So you have 86 World Cup wins, huh? Not bad."
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
So in any other situation, I would be comfortable having this conversation, but right here, it's different level.
What has he meant to you in your career?
Well, we actually met the first time in 2006, I think, at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because we never raced against each other, but of course, watching the guy and then hearing about the guy, and then I raced with guys like Amat and that raced with Ingmar, and they taught me some of the history about all of this. Alberto Tomba. There's a lot of legends that really look up to this guy. And Ingmar is, I would say, not as, let's say, as flamboyant as Tomba, but then it's fun to see a guy like Tomba when you talk about Ingmar, that he's like, has so much respect. So for me, I think it's cool to do some stuff with Ingmar because, of course, seeing him as a child, but then seeing how the heroes that I then raced with when I was 19, the way they talk about Ingmar then adds to the emotional part about that. So, but right now we're more. I mean, we don't talk so much about World Cup wins. Now we're more about like, how does this car really work if you like get around the corner? So it's different topics.
Because the two of you are teaming up in the Porsche Sprint Cup Scandinavia, and I'm sure you've heard this many times before in motorsport, but how does it compare? How does racing compare to alpine skiing?
I think it's some similarities with the choice of the line and the feeling of the turns. But for me, it's I haven't been ski racing for 30 years, so I don't have an advantage, I think.
Have you been out on track, Ingemar?
Pardon?
Have you been out on the track here?
Yeah, I've been out here. It's been very nice to drive here. A bit icy, a little bit too icy sometimes, but I enjoy it very much.
In Norway and Sweden, we have to go on like an ice race, or not an ice race, but an ice course to get our driver's license. A while ago, for the both of you, I know that, but can you sort of bring in some of that experience from that course when you got your license back in the day?
I didn't have that course because I'm that old.
Well, I had that course, and they sprayed some water on. It was in the summer, so it was very different. But I think with the line and what Ingmar said is that once you learn a little bit about the car, because what we know very well, even if it's 30 years ago, it's that you feel how much grip and friction you have under the ski. And then you kind of automatically you see the line in the snow, like the speed and the friction, and then you kind of see what's possible. And I think once you learn a little bit how much grip there is in the car and what's possible, I think that's the advantage that you take away fairly quickly, is that you can lift your eyes early in the curve and like see the exit, because you kind of know where you're going based on the grip and the power that you're feeling. So I think at least that's the advantage, because I see even when I'm out riding, my road bike with some friends that they're cyclists. Of course, going up the hill with my big downhill body, they like drop me. But once we go through some traffic or go downhill, it's like they have a hard time seeing, this car comes from the right, this from the left, and it's easier for us to kind of feel the speed and see how this is going to play out. And I think that's kind of where we have the advantage, that we can lift our eyes and like see further ahead, compared to normal people, not these like awesome race drivers, obviously.
Talking about awesome race drivers, what's it like for the two of you wandering around the hotel here with multiple Formula One champions, rallycross champions, NASCAR, IndyCar? What's that like?
It's fantastic to be here with all those famous people. Really nice.
You're pretty famous too.
But not in car racing.
Maybe you will be.
I doubt it.
Thank you very much, both of you. We'll move on now to Anja Persson. and Jonas Björkman. Welcome to the Race of Champions. We'll start with you, Anja. What sort of experience do you have, other than on skis, obviously, with driving a car on snow and ice?
When I grew up, when I was 15, 16, I kind of knew I was going to go into the Swedish national team, and it's a lot of driving, and at that time we had Audi. And I remember my first driving lesson was at this car. It's a car race. We were there with the national team, and I had Susanne Kotolinski as my coach. And it was kind of my first time in the car, and she just like, let's just go, girl. And I remember I didn't know what to do with the hands or stick or everything. It was just chaos, but I made it through some runs. And then later that year in the winter, so at 16, 17, I already knew how to do eights with the cars, and so she kind of helped me a lot when I was younger. And with the family, with Kotolinski, I've been driving a lot on ice and snow, but that's on four-wheel drive. So coming in here, I don't know if you saw yesterday in the third corner, I spun because it was not as fun with that car. I thought, okay, I have traction here, and then suddenly I pushed the gas, and it was just okay. So I'm feeling very humble to the task here.
What's your relationship to the two gentlemen sitting next to you there?
Well, we said yesterday when we were training over at the other lake. I felt good. I felt like I almost had the same timing as Ingemar, and then we came on the tracks here, and then he just went, and I talked to Axel, I'm like, that's typical Ingemar. He just let us think that we're with him and that he's cool with it, and he's not doing that well. And then he started to tell me about left foot braking, and I'm like, okay, come on. So this morning I laughed and asked if he already had been out on the track looking at it, and because I know this guy, and even tomorrow I'm going to try my best, and we're going to try to push him, but Ingemar is Ingemar, so he's probably going to cruise the whole way with us.
Jonas, your first Race of Champions experience, what's it like here for you?
Amazing. I'm probably the one of us who are totally out of the comfort zone. You know, any snow, rain, or whatever in tennis, you know, we stop. So we only play when it's good conditions. You know, we need nice and hot, and not a lot of snow and ice. So no, it's. It's such a fun opportunity to, of course, race with these great legends from downhill skiing and all of that, and what they have done. I've been following them, all of them, and also to what you mentioned, to be in the driving locker room and just see these guys lining up and see the names, see the helmets. It's a fantastic experience, and then hopefully I get a little bit more comfortable with the car. And hopefully I can find the gas pedal a little bit more, but it's really a lot of fun, and like Axel said as well, the whole organization here is such a top-notch level on everything, making us very, very comfortable and welcome.
Are you getting some good tips from the others? Are you also left foot braking, or?
No, I don't even get into that. I got to stick to what I can. That's. So I go for the safe way.
It didn't look so safe yesterday.
No.
Is it a proper adrenaline rush?
It is, absolutely. I think. It's when you do something what you have done for so many years, and then finally get the opportunity to do something completely different. Of course, it's the same adrenaline, same kick you get doing it, even if you're more, not comfortable and careful and a bit scared. But at the same time, you also feel it, and just to first 2-3 minutes sitting in the car, I agree, it was like claustrophobic feeling, with a helmet, and you turn left and right, but you didn't see anything. And it's a great experience, and hopefully we can enjoy it even more during the weekend.
I'm sure you will. Best of luck, guys. We'll move on now to our E-ROC winner and runner-up from today's final, Jarno Opmeer and Lucas Blakely. Well done, guys. First of all, Jarmo, how are you feeling about winning?
Yeah, amazing, of course. Yesterday I did the first few laps on the rail track, got a few minutes on there, so it was really fun. And then today we still had to do the sim races this morning, which went surprisingly well. Yesterday I was struggling a bit on the sim, so very happy to win the final in the end. Yeah, really looking forward to do some more laps today in the snowy conditions.
How about you, Lucas? How has your day been?
Yeah, I mean, Jarno just needs to stop winning for once. He seems to like everything he touches, he somehow wins. But no, full credit to Jarno today because he just did the better job. And yeah, I mean, this whole experience is, as a whole, has just been sort of mind blowing. I mean, today, I mean, on the sims, competing obviously gets the heart rate up, and you sort of feel you're at a competition, and which you are, but. You know, it's crazy as well sometimes the level when you're in a different country, different environment, different cars, and then you all end up a few hundreds away from each other. It's just the nature of, you know, esports and, you know, how far you push each other, and it's something that I think we all enjoy. And yeah, I mean, getting out on the track yesterday was probably one. I mean, doing the assessment lap was probably one of the coolest things I'll probably get to do in my life. So yeah, I mean, the adrenaline after that, my hands are shaking. So yeah, just super happy to be here.
We've had a lot of the drivers talking today about the camaraderie at the Race of Champions. Now, I met the two of you wandering around in the lobby last night. You're fierce competitors, but it looks like you're really good friends as well.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Lucas said this a few days ago. In 2018, we were talking together about making it to F1 Esports together. So it was 1 week before he got chosen to Aston Martin. And now we're together in the Race of Champions, so that's going to be really fun after so many years. So yeah, just going to be amazing to do it with Lucas.
I think just fundamentally, I mean, it's the same for, you know, not just ourselves, but, you know, all the E-ROC drivers here. Like, the respect is so high for each other, and I think I said to everybody, I don't know what day it was now, but the one before now, it was, you know, honestly, no matter who wins, I'll, you know, be happy for them, because I think everybody, you know, everyone fundamentally deserves, you know, to be here, and it's just an insane. Yeah, I mean, out with obviously the competition's really high, and obviously when you're competing each other, you want to win more than anything. But the minute you're off the rig, it's pure respect, and I mean, we all get on really well, and I think that's one of the really enjoyable parts of being here so far, because I mean, you have the competitive side, and then the minute that's done, you come off and you have a really good time. So yeah, it's been good.
If we just have a quick look behind you there, it says E-ROC All-Stars against Team Germany. And I'm sure you know very well who is in Team Germany. Sebastian Vettel and Mick Schumacher. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's amazing. When I was a child, of course, that was the era Seb was winning all the world championships. So I was a big fan, I think, just like all other kids back then. But yeah, on one side, I'm pretty glad that I'm not driving against Team Finland or Team Sweden straight away. If we do go through, of course, because Mick and Seb are going to be fast anyway. I mean, these F1 drivers are fast in anything they touch. So that's going to be a big struggle to start off with anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one way to start the Nations Cup. You're going up against, you know, two F1 drivers, let alone Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, which saying now doesn't feel real, because I mean, we are obviously esports drivers, and then to get to this point where you're literally getting to say those words and be in that situation, I don't think it will even feel real after it's done. Only when you get to watch it back. So yeah, it's a massive privilege. Firstly, I mean, along with being here in the first place, but to, you know, get to this point and get that opportunity, and yeah, hopefully, you know, what the outcome is, it will be, you know, we'll give it absolutely everything with whatever track time we get, and yeah, as long as we've gave it everything and had fun, that should be a positive end result.
Sounds good. I'm going to open up the floor. Any questions?
Ben, I got one.
Yeah.
Guys, you're sitting next to three amazing world champion skiers and an amazing tennis player. You've been eating dinner and hanging out with legendary racing drivers. Talk about the off-track experience of what you've had here over the last few days.
It's very weird. You just walk into the restaurant and you just see all these Formula 1 world champions and all these rally world champions. So it's very weird because they're just hanging out as well and just having fun. I think that's why everyone is here. It's just a lot about fun. At the same time, I think everyone wants to win anyway. But it's super special, of course.
I think it's one of the I mean, it's something you don't always maybe think about coming here, but the atmosphere, you know, being here and being among so many genuinely unbelievable talents and all the legends, it's just, it doesn't feel like real, if that makes sense. Like, you're walking around with people, I mean, even if you talk to them, it's like everybody at the end of the day we're all people. So it's, you know, it's really easy, and everyone's like really easy to talk to, everyone's really nice, and it's like a really like heartwarming experience, you know, to be able to even stand amongst these people, because like, I mean, as Jarno touched on, you know, you watch, for example, Sebastian Vettel when you're growing up absolutely dominating F1, and then well, tomorrow we're going to be, you know, competing against them. That sort of thing does not sink in at all. But yeah, I think the atmosphere at ROC has been probably the thing that maybe you don't think about so much coming in, but then it's one of the things you probably mainly enjoy as the week goes on, and you always just look forward to every evening and every night, because you know you're just, you know, no matter what happens, you're just gonna have some fun. So it's good.
I've got a question too to you. In Mexico, James and the others felt that we'd really managed to make the game so close to the reality. On tarmac, it's obviously easier to merge the real and the virtual world. How do you feel that the game on snow and ice, how close is that to the real racetrack?
In my opinion, it was not at all, but that makes it fun as well. You have to adapt super fast, which is the same in these conditions. I mean, every time you go out, it's completely different. So yeah, in the end of the day, it's just the same as every racing competition. You just have to adapt super fast to certain conditions. So it doesn't really matter if it's different to the real life thing. In the end, it comes down to just having to drive the car as fast as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain I mean, because there's so low grip also in the real life and on the sim, so certain driving techniques, whether it's when you're using a four-wheel drive car, you know, certain things are transferable, but there will always be, you know, with the weather right now outside, it's incredibly snowy, so there will always be those sort of factors. But I think fundamentally it was enjoyable to drive here, and yeah, it was really good fun, and it's cool to sort of jump between the two as well. Like, you drive a bit of the cars during the day, and then you drive the sim, and it's cool to jump between the two, because then you can actually get an adjustment of what the differences are between sim and reality. So yeah, it's really cool.
So you'll help us improve the game then on snow and ice.
Yeah.
Funny, you remember in Mexico, so Benito Guerra, he was knocked out in the Nations Cup the first day, like in the first round, and he was spending entire afternoon on the simulator driving the track, and the next day he won the individual race of champions. So there it was very, very close, huh? Right? So
yeah, the KTM was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harder on snow, isn't it? So.
Yeah, maybe the changing conditions, but give us your input and we'll try to improve the game for the future. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Yep.
Yeah, I have a question to Axel. You're aiming now for the first season as a race car driver. Is this event going to help you?
Oh, for sure. I think starting from not having driven the car at all, I think any time you get in the car is obviously helpful. It's just, you know, being comfortable in the car as well. It's a total new environment. Sitting in, you guys probably all know this, but sitting in a race car in like a racing seat and like with the helmet on is very different than your casual driving. And I think that's something you just need to be very comfortable with, you know, that it fits well. And then, of course, the driving as well, even if we're probably not going to have much snow and ice in the south of Sweden in May. I think car control in general, it's, you know, from different conditions, helps a lot. So, yeah, for sure. Every minute that you can get behind the wheel is good practice. And also, it's a lot of the same people, you know, around here supporting the cars and everything. That's going to be, so we get to know the people and, you know, build some relationships. It's always nice if you can get some tips and pointers from someone who has a lot of experience. So I think it will help a lot.
But I think in general, if you see the difference between maybe a normal person and a huge athlete coming in that's been working their whole life to adjust and get feedback and time to switch with materials and stuff. That's what I see when I look here. Every time somebody says something to either one of us, we go like, okay, and we get our mindset into it and try to adapt to it. And you even ask Solberg and okay, how do you do that corner? How should I proceed? And so that's in our nature to always try to develop our system in our head. And as Axel said, we always plan ahead, we look ahead. And that's something that's natural to us. I think that's maybe for these two guys when they go into the next section in their racing career, is they're going to adapt so much faster than maybe a normal person because they've done it their whole life. And it's easy to take some pointers from someone and readjust it in your head, and then you get into it.
I'm looking forward to it, so it'll be fun.
This is your first event as teammates as well.
Yeah, it is.
Is it fun? You're talking a lot about the car.
Yeah, we're discussing, of course, but I think here it's also just like the guy said, walking around and talking to the drivers. I think we're doing a healthy mix of talking to each other, where it's like we don't really know, and then actually talk to someone who does know, right? And then get some real answers. And it's kind of cool too, because it's very like fun and relaxed in a sense. But I was having dinner last night at like a long table with a bunch of different drivers, and they know who won that final. Like, I got you with that many hundreds of a second. Remember how close that, like, people talk about their, Formula One races or their rallycross championships, but people talk about Race of Champions here as well. As like, and what I understood yesterday is that it's all fun and games, but tomorrow when it starts and on Sunday, it's full on. Like, people get mad when they do bad and they celebrate their wins. So I think and I think that also comes with how many people know about Race of Champions, like me watching it myself on television. I remember I was with Ekström at a thing in Salzburg with Red Bull once, and we spent like the whole dinner talking about different Race of Champions finals, because as then a spectator just watching on television, I had all these questions about, how did that work? How was this driver? So it's, I think we shouldn't be fooled by how relaxed it is now, because there's some intensity that's going to happen, because it's a race that people want to win, for sure.
Any more questions? No? Thank you very much. Best of luck to all of you. And I believe that concludes our press conference.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks to Frederick for the invitation as well. We have a great time being here, and we don't belong here, so we're super humble about getting the invitation.
Very, very much for being here. We'll have a great weekend with a little bit of better weather, and then you'll have lots of fun out on the track and off as well. So.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Super.
Thank you.
Du var ovanför mig. Ja. Kram och lyfta in er och var glada. Hej då. Inte handen i fickan, Axel.